I went to Japan's least visited prefecture. According to the statistics of Japan's tourism agency, this prefecture merely gets 0.1407% of Japan's international visitors. Is it that horrible, or are there other reasons for it being in last place? In this video, I would like to invite you to join me on a week of exploration and film photography in the west of Japan. I visited some friends, some famous spots, some less famous spots, including that one prefecture that is literally the least visited place in Japan. I'm not going to spoil it, but let me tell you, the place I visited within that unloved prefecture was actually one of my favourite spots that I had the pleasure of seeing on this trip. And of course, I shot a ton of photos, some good, some bad, and in this video, I'm going to bring you along for the journey. Let's go. This journey begins on a cold morning in Kyoto. Today, I don't really know where I'm going, but let's go. I had just visited my friend Hika, who lives in Kyoto, which I showed you in a recent video, and from there I was going to continue my journey further west. On this day, I was heading to my first stop, which was actually a bit of a surprise for me. I was going to meet Hika again, but this time in her hometown. She had told me before that she'd love to show me around the countryside there, and I love the idea of getting to see places that I wouldn't have considered visiting, but end up going to because of some connection. It's a nice setup for surprises and unexpected adventures. So I was on the train heading further west from Kyoto to go to the Hyogo prefecture, where I was going to catch a small train that takes me into the countryside, where I was going to get off at the stop where Hika will pick me up, because her hometown is so rural that there isn't even a train that goes there. Seeing as I'm always travelling by rail in Japan, this alone was an exciting event for me, because it's a place I normally wouldn't be able to reach. I made it to Hika's closest train station and found her. Next, we were going to drive to her hometown, where we were going to be joined by her sister Ryo, and together we were going to explore rural Hyogo.雪が降ってる。おお、行って。寒そうよ、そんな格好。猫が嫌いの。なんか逃げちゃう。他におったんか。魚を眺めてた。 Unfortunately, the lighting was a bit boring on this day because it was cloudy. However, I still got some shots here and there. I like this one. It's not particularly special, but I like the backstory. Hika and Ryo told me about this hole in the ground with the stream of water inside. They used to play here a lot as kids. I think it's sweet to photograph them as adults back at this spot that they used to frequently come to. Oh. Here we came to the local park where we were going to just have a little walk and check out the spot. I noticed that there was not much going on. I saw maybe around 6 people or so. Funnily, Hika and Ryo randomly said, "Oh, it's busy today," when they saw a few of them. So I suppose this place is really quite rural. Next we were looking for a lunch spot because we were getting hungry. So we came to a tofu restaurant that Hika and Ryo like. However, unfortunately it was closed on this day, but they did have a little shop that was open, so we got to enjoy a little sample.
Curtains sway gently by the window and you're sleeping.
みんな釣っています。移動。For the afternoon, we had a goal. The Takeda Castle Ruins, which is exactly what it sounds like. A historical site, ruins of a castle, up on a little mountain with a nice walk and some good views.
The longer I've waited, the more that I've tried. All the years that I've
こっちに降りちゃわれる方があります。わかりました。はい。
After getting some advice from the office, we set off on our little walk up the mountain to find the ruins. Due to the rather flat lighting on this day, I hadn't been shooting too much. However, here I could sense that I might find some more opportunities, because it's places like here where the forest and other things can naturally shape the light and shade that could make the flat lighting more interesting to work with.
smoke in my eyes, I can hear the wind chime.
Here's a shot I took of the forest, which I think worked out pretty well. The forest opens up on the left, so the light has a clear direction here coming from the side, which makes the flat lighting more interesting. I like this one.
Everything's cold. I see you running, all covered in gold. There's nothing else that
これって入れるもん、投げるもんじゃなくて。
いや、入れると思うよ。
はい。
どっかまだスパル入る。お、できた。じゃじゃーん。
smoke in my eyes, I can hear the wind chiming.
何しないで。
It's always been you in the back of my mind. When there are others.
We made it to the top. We explored the ruins and enjoyed the views. I didn't really take any pictures here because I was missing that directionality of light again, seeing as this was simply an open space here, though we did get our photo taken by another visitor to document the day. On the way down, I got my beloved point and shoot out to make use of its flash, which could help in the darker lighting inside the forest, but also add a more dynamic look to the otherwise flat lighting. I took some fun shots of Hika and Dior, which I think turned out pretty cool. Our excursion to the ruins took a bit longer than expected, and we ended up rushing back in the evening because I had a train to catch that was going to take me to my next stop. This was a lovely start to the trip. I'm so grateful that Hika and Ryo invited me to their hometown in Hyogo to explore an area I probably never would have seen otherwise. A great start to the week. They dropped me off at a train station, and so I was back riding an old train through the countryside of Japan, and now heading further west to Hiroshima. 'The next day, the sun came out and I was walking across Hiroshima city to catch a train that was going to take me to the island called Miyajima, where the famous Itsukushima Shrine is located. Which you've probably seen before in photos. It's that big red torii gate in the sea. So while I really love to explore the lesser visited places of Japan, I do also like some hotspots despite the occasional overcrowding. I mean, they're popular for a reason. I was going to pass Hiroshima anyway, so I decided to take this opportunity to check out Miyajima. I actually didn't know what to expect on this day. I knew it was famous and popular, but I didn't know how popular, whether it's just busy or completely overcrowded. I decided to just see how things go.
Se o mundo espera e a gente agora tá na hora de mas se você chora, o mundo explora sentimento algum. A meu ver, dá pra prosseguir e até vencer. Vejo segredos dentro de você.
So the boat ride made quite clear that this spot was definitely popular, but there was enough space and infrastructure that it didn't feel like the island was being overwhelmed by tourists like me. A funny thing I realised as soon as I arrived is that I actually do not know much about the attractions here. I just knew of the Torii Gate and decided to go and explore without knowing what to expect, and my first surprise was to see these deer roaming around amongst the people.
Vejo segredos dentro de você. Yeah, yeah. Se o mundo espera e a gente agora tá na hora de mas se você chora, o mundo explora sentimento algum. A meu ver, dá pra prosseguir e até vencer. Vejo segredos dentro de você. Yeah, yeah.
Something I actually enjoy a lot when visiting more crowded places is the highly increased number of street photography style opportunities I get. I suppose street photography might not be the accurate term for this, but I think you know what I mean. The stylistic character of photographs I took here. I found myself capturing a lot of what was going on by focusing on the people. By the way, in case you're wondering how I scan my film, I've always been a self-scanning type of guy and scan my negatives myself at home with my digital camera. Ironic, I know. So the chemical process of developing the film is honestly too complicated for me, so I let a lab do it for me. But the scanning is easy to do at home and it has a massive impact on the final look of my photos, so I want to be in control of this process. To do the scanning, I use the Valoy EZ35 V2. Valoy is a company from Finland who designed this fantastic little light box of sorts that I can screw onto my macro lens so that I can have it evenly backlight my negatives. Then I just photograph each negative and convert the negative to a positive in Lightroom. I think Valoy makes the scanning process easy and convenient. The box is small and light, so I could just take it with me when I'm in Japan, for example, to do my scanning abroad too. Just recently, Valoy released their Valoy EZ35 V2, which is a new, refined version of the product. I've only had it for a short time so far, and all the photographs in this video were scanned before I had it, so those were done with the original EZ35 V1. However, to test the EZ35 V2, I rescanned a couple photos that I've taken since returning to Austria, so that I can show you some results from the new version. I have to say, it's exactly what they claim it is. It's the same product, just better. Improved materials, better design, brighter and higher quality light. So I'm really happy to continue my scanning with the even better V2 from now on. Anyway, if you are looking for a good tool for scanning your negatives with your digital camera, I seriously recommend that you check out Valoy. At this point, they've also become a partner of the channel because I asked them if they'd like to sponsor me, seeing as I'm a happy customer. I was able to get you a little discount in case you want to get yourself a Valoy EZ35. Just use my link in the description to check out Valoy and get a little discount. Thank you so much to Valoy for sponsoring this video. かわいいね、音。
ね、くるくるくる。怒ってたらキーって言うんですけど。
そうなんですか。
はい。今日も卵を産みました。
で、意外と来るんだ。
ここに行かないです。
Here, I came across this woman and her hen who were walking around in this street, which I thought was so cute. So, in a brief chat, I asked whether I may take a photograph, which is how this photograph came to be. I told you earlier that I didn't know what to expect here in Miyajima, and this here is one of those lovely surprises I got. There is a massive temple up here that I found quite impressive. After exploring the temple, I decided to rush over to the forest and walk up the path to the ropeway. I was, to be honest, a bit late because I simply hadn't planned for there to be so much to explore on the island. That's the disadvantage of not planning, I guess. But I really wanted to check this out too. However, the ropeway was going to close soon, so I had to be quick. However, this guy was certainly not of any help. I don't know what this chap was up to standing in the water, but I spent about 5 minutes here getting these shots. I went on a nice little walk up on the mountain, however it was cut very short because I had to catch the last ropeway back down. So in case you ever plan to come here, just letting you know that you'll want to plan some more time up here than me to make better use of it. Just as the ropeway was about to head down the mountain, I quickly snapped this shot of the staff in the control room, which I think turned out pretty cool. By this time, the tide had become quite low, and people and deer were walking around on the sand as the sun slowly set. After that wonderful sunset and a little dinner, I caught the ferry back to the train station and set off on my evening travel even further west to my next stop.
Is it time to give up my body? Convert all the parts into a factory. I got a glance. I call it my fate.
If you know me a bit, you of course know that I like old Japanese countryside trains. This one, however, was exceptional because I love the orange colour, which I think just looks great in these photographs.
Give up the cool girl. If there ever was one, become someone's home. Should I try to say goodbye to her?
On this day, I started my day in this town I had come to called Yuda-onsen. I chose this town as a little hub of sorts for two of my destinations. On this day, I was going to travel to a small town on the west coast of Japan called Hagi. And as far as I could tell from my research, that town is a bit tricky to reach, and so I was going to take two local buses from this town to get to Hagi. as much as I love Japan's high standard in public transport, my trust mostly just applies to trains. I'm much more skeptical of buses, so this was going to be a bit of an adventure because I had to change buses in what looked to me like the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Said you changed and a lot. Got the memory still popping up. Show me your heart, show you mine. You go first, I will wind.
I'm in absolutely bloody nowhere here, I think. There's like not much. I really hope that bus comes. If not, I'm stranded. I mean, look at this sign. Doesn't look like the most trustworthy timetable. The bus teased me a bit by coming late, but it did eventually come, and it looked like I was going to make it to Hagi.
Million thoughts are flying from my head. Let's kiss them away and stay in my bed. Just to know that you are mine. I'm floating on air.
So once I made it to Hagi, I first went to an area on the edge of town. I didn't really know what to expect, but the look I had on Google Maps when I was researching it had me thinking that there might be some interesting things here to see, so I decided to just go on a long walk. Something I adore in the design of streets or a town is the inclusion of flowing water. So naturally, this spot here intrigued me. I don't really know why, but this street felt quite different to the other ones I walked through on the way here. It seemed to have some historical connections, as there was a house here that appeared to be marked as the former residence of some important figure from the past. Anyway, this street was gorgeous, and as you've probably already noticed, there was no one around. I met a total of, 2 people or so on this street? So that was a pleasant surprise to get to see such a beautiful place. Here, I had a brief stop to get some lunch while making my way to another part of town. I was walking towards a historical part of town, but to get there I needed to pass some of the busier places, which were less interesting, must admit, until I came across this here.
撮影のために萩に来たの今日。
ああ、そうですか。ずっとカメラ屋でやっとったんだけど、10年ぐらい前に辞めたの。今はまあ家やミュージアム。
撮ります。すみません、時間かかってありがとうございます。嬉しいです。
Just by coincidence, I came across this little shop, which, according to this gentleman, used to be a camera shop. However, now he's retired and repurposed this space to a camera museum, which I thought looked really cool. I got the shot of him in his museum. It's not in the upper ranks in these portrait-style photos I've taken, but it's not bad either.
Llegaste de la nada.
Here, I entered a shotengai, which is a roofed shopping street that is common in Japanese cities.
Ya estaba perdida. Con tu forma de hablar, sin miedo de expresar, tu fuego al cantar, ya sabía. Esto tenía que pasar, de pronto todo en su lugar. Había dejado de buscar, no apareciste. Era el primer día de mayo, todo estaba en movimiento. Una luz.
After walking through the shotengai and further following the street, I came to this area which looked like an older part of town with some pretty traditional buildings. as you've witnessed by now, Hagi is quite empty, despite being such a beautiful town. This area of Japan generally doesn't get too many visitors in comparison to the other parts of Japan. As I talked about in my Kyoto video, I think Japan doesn't really have an over-tourism issue. That's a slightly too simplistic view in my opinion. The issue is rather tourism concentration, so too many people go to the exact same places, which leads to an overcrowding. So one of the reasons for me to come here was to investigate whether this area has nothing to offer. But so far, what I've found is the opposite. Hagi is beautiful and certainly worth a visit. There are places like Shirakago, which are also rural. However, that town is so small that even just a mild increase of visitors can overwhelm the town. However, Hagi to me looks like they're ready to welcome many visitors with lots of cool things to do, enough space and shops that would love to get some more business. However, nobody comes. It was an odd sight to be honest. It looked prepared for tourists, but there were barely any here. I think that is partly due to the location. It's a bit harder to reach and I really had to go out of my way to get here. But I think, unlike many other places in Japan, this town would actually like more visitors. So if you happen to be travelling in the west of Japan, I would highly recommend visiting Hagi. Not only does Hagi have beautiful streets, a historical old town, and beautiful walks, it even has a beach. At this point, I was seriously blown away by all what Hagi has to offer and the contrast to the amount of visitors. But as mentioned, it's a bit tricky to get here by public transport, and I was, in this moment, feeling that pain. Because I was having a great time, but I urgently needed to rush back to the bus station to catch my bus back to Yuda Onsen, where I was staying the night. In hindsight, I think I should have booked a place in Hagi, which I'll do next time. And yes, there's definitely going to be a next time here in Hagi. This is me, sweaty but happy, after running through the town to catch the bus. I was cutting it really close because I consistently got distracted by shots I wanted to get, but all went well and I got back to my accommodation safely. This beautiful morning sunlight greeted me on my way to the train station on the next day. Today's plan was an exciting one. I was going to catch a train that takes me even deeper into the countryside, all the way to the least visited prefecture in Japan.
Take me to the ruins, aquifers and springs, baby ferns uncurling, every living thing. Be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel.
So according to the statistics that the Japanese tourism agency published, the prefecture that receives the smallest share of international visitors is Shimane Prefecture, which is right next to Yamaguchi Prefecture, which is where Hagi is, the town I explored the day before. As you saw, Hagi wasn't particularly busy. According to the data, Yamaguchi Prefecture gets more than quadruple the amount of visitors that Shimane Prefecture gets. Yamaguchi Prefecture gets a whopping 0.52% of international visitors, whereas Shimane Prefecture merely gets 0.14%. So let's see what we find and who we meet. I was on my way to a town at the tip of Shimane Prefecture called Suwano.
All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision.
From the train station, I just walked into town to see what's going on. As you can see, not much, but it was pretty, I have to say, peaceful. A bit like Hagi, Suwano is a small town which has a variety of spots that seem to offer something a bit different, so the mission on this day was to check them all out. Here, I passed by someone's garage and something caught my eye. There was some wonderful lighting, and I wanted to get a shot of it, but just then I noticed someone was there. The owner, I suppose, so I had to take my chance.
すみません。ちょっと変な質問かもしれないんですが、私写真家などで今日来たので、今ここの光が気になりまして。
何が？
光。なんか素敵と思いました。今この光を見て素晴らしいって思って
なんで
ちょうどいやなんか上からねガットが大きくてこれがちょうどいいと思います。じゃあありがとうございます。なんかこれで見てみて。
Here's the photograph I took of this gentleman, and I love it. He was a little shy, but I'm happy that he opened up a bit and let me take the photograph. I think his garage is so cool with the diffused top light that lights up the pots of plants. This alone is quite intriguing, I find, but adding him into the competition just makes it perfect. I love this one. So after walking across the edge of town, I had come back to the centre where I found something like the main road, it seemed, and it appeared to be a historical part of the town. This street was really pretty. However, I think in spring or summer it's even better because these pots have flowers in them and the trees have leaves. So I think I need to come back here again too. After my lunch, I walked to the other side of town to find a forest. Apparently, there's a nice shrine hidden in the forest which I wanted to find.
Stay close now, no need to run. Love you
This place was gorgeous. The trees, the water, the shrine, so harmonious. It reminded me of a scene that Hayao Miyazaki would draw in his films. there was a path around the shrine, up the back, through the forest and behind a little ridge, where I found even more things to explore and a path that led back to the town. This was a really cool little corner of Tsuano. After that, I made my way to the far side of town to find the entrance to a path that goes up a small mountain and leads to a temple.
Lost in the cosmos, singing a song.
This was such a lovely temple to walk up to. It feels like something that would be completely overcrowded in Kyoto, but here in Tsuano it doesn't get much attention. Or maybe it was just a quiet day. Anyway, I enjoyed the views from up here for a bit, before heading back down to explore the town just a little more before heading back to the train station.
After you go, electric hum, sitting in the room, relay the song, Roman candle, there is a light passing through. There is a light passing
I thought this tunnel was really cute. It was quite small, so I took a photograph of it.
the sword that stays sharp forever. There is a light passing. There is a light passing.
I had some time left until my train was due, so I decided to check out a cafe close to the train station and have a little snack. It was a bit late at this point, so I was the only customer, hence I was able to chat with the owner for a bit, and before leaving I took this photograph of her. Unfortunately, I messed up the exposure a bit and underexposed the shot a little, but it's not too bad. And with that, a fantastic day in Suwano comes to an end. I'm so happy I found these two gems, Hagi and Suwano. I highly recommend visiting them if you're keen to travel in the countryside of Japan. The next day, I woke up in Fukuoka. I had travelled on to this city in the evening so that in the morning my journey to the next place is not too far away. There was one more city even further west that I wanted to visit before making my way back to the east towards Tokyo. I was going to visit Yanagawa.
9 to 5 was my dad's advice. Don't think twice, I want the luxury life. My beauty can lose it, I'll use it. I'll take what I want. Oh yeah. A whole lot of ticking, but not enough time. A whole lot of work for a trophy wife like me.
This here is what Yanagawa is known for, their canals. I find towns and cities with canals quite intriguing, so I had to add Yanagawa to my itinerary. My first impression was actually a bit of a surprise. This place felt much more like a big city than Hagi and Suwano, which really felt like quiet towns in the countryside. Yanagawa felt much bigger. I hadn't made much of a plan of things to see, but of course one of the things that I wanted to check out was the local shrines, this one being a rather big one with a park area around it. At this point, I was just wandering around the streets of Yanagawa, and slowly, my belly was rumbling and signalling to me that it needs filling. So, I found a snack, and all that was left to find was a bench to sit on, which turned out to be harder to find than expected. We have a bit of a problem. I just had my snack, and I'm still hungry. Here I came across a cute looking cafe that looked like exactly what I needed to properly fill my hungry belly. They had an interesting menu, including a soup set which was nice, and the bloody spiciest ginger ale I've ever had. It tasted like a ginger shot, just that it wasn't a shot, it was an entire glass. After that, I had a couple more corners around town that I wanted to check out as the sun slowly got lower.
You said that you're just being honest, but there's nothing left. You said you're taking all the hits, you're someone easy to forget, but that's not how you come off. Not trying to be soft. There you are, as right as the rain. Not a thing that you need to change. I can't make you see my way, but I want you to. You said we're only getting older and closer to the end. You said it's only getting harder to hold on to a friend. But you are a sailor who's weathering failure. More love than you can contain. I
So that was another wonderful day in this week. This one spent exploring Yanagawa. With the sun set, I decided to make my way back to my accommodation and get some rest. After a good night of sleep, I was back in Fukuoka, and on this day I actually didn't have much planned. I needed to catch up on some work before catching the train back towards Tokyo. I say towards because I wasn't actually going all the way back to Tokyo just yet. There was one more stop on the way. I was going to hop off the train in Okayama to visit a new friend I made not so long ago, who you might already know. If you saw my recent video about photography in the snow in northern Japan, you might remember this guy. This is Keisuke-san, who Melly and I met on this trip when we couldn't board a bus and ended up sharing a taxi with him. After spending the whole day together, Keisuke-san left us to head back home and invited us to come visit him in Okayama if we ever happened to be around that area. At this time, Melly had already returned to Austria, but I was, in fact, passing through Okayama. So I had let him know that I could hop off. And so on this day, I was heading to Okayama to meet Keisuke-san and his family. Keisuke-san's family were so welcoming and kind. They prepared a tea ceremony for me and two of Keisuke's friends who also came to visit. It was a lovely evening. I didn't film or shoot too much, but I did get this portrait of Keisuke-san's elder son.今日はケイスケさんツアーガイドちょっと気をつけてOK ちゃんと道路を見てください This day was the last day of my trip. Keisuke-san, his wife Akiko-san, and Ginji-kun, the younger son of the two, were so kind to be tour guides and take me to a couple spots around Okayama.
Today's setup is Olympus EM10 です。レンズはルビックス。あとドローン積んでます。白い棒が。だから日本って普通？This photo is cute, I find. I like it.
だって銀ちゃん。
こっちかも結構ね好みによるっていう感じなんですよ。
これは
OK けど今の光はまだちょっと高すぎかな。
僕たちの車がある。違う。もうちょっと帰りる。
このパシャパシャ取ってるけど手をパシャパシャ取れないの歯がゆいと思わないんかな。
乗ります。なんか泥棒。
The sun came out again around this time, and I liked how the trees here diffused the harsh sunlight a little, so I took the chance to shoot these photographs, which I think turned out pretty sweet.
So 音楽家はもちろんクラシックの人たちがいっぱい知ってる。頭いい人に何か質問あればいつもさ聞けるよ。
Here, Keisuke-san had brought us to a little hiking area where you can hike up to some rocks, from where you get an incredible view across the sea that lies in between Honshu, the main island of Japan, and Shikoku, one of the small islands off to the side.
すごいね銀ちゃん。見える？
見えるよ。見える見える。いやそれ危険な感じに引き返してるパターン。結構多い。
あ、これさ。
結構面白いね。
大きいですね。大きいね。
休憩所も黒猫2匹いますからね。よーっていうので耳カットしてます。なのでもう多分遺棄された子を捨てられたんだと思いますね。
わかるの。
I was having a lot of fun up here, getting lots of different shots. The lighting was harsh but still workable. I like this shot a lot because of the composition and the odd contrast. The composition has this neat triangle going on. It just feels balanced somehow. And by contrast, I mean the look of the guy on the left, Keisuke-san and Ginji-kun exploring the rocks at the back, and Akiko-san with her not so mountainous looking boots and cute picnic basket. Altogether, I think this makes for such a fun shot to look at.
Oh, くっと撮りたかったよね。
で、今撮れた。
撮れた。
いいじゃん。
初めて。
いいじゃん。じゃあ3月、今年はもう3月で夢が叶ったってすごいね。
はい、もう2027になってもいいです。
あ、早い早い。
今日はお元気ですか？インタビューしましょう。つきさん、こんにちは。
ここか。
寝ますか？
This was our final stop. This is a small island in between Okayama and the main island of Shikoku. We just came here to check out the massive bridge and eat some udon, which apparently is the famous speciality around here. After that, they took me to the train station, from where I was going to take the train all the way back to Tokyo, and that concludes the trip. What a wonderful ending this was. I'm so happy that I got to meet Keisuke-san, which eventually led to these great experiences. Funny how these things work sometimes. Overall, a massively successful trip, I'd say. I think I was able to shoot quite a few neat photographs. It was great. I hope you enjoyed coming with me and had a good time too. Before saying goodbye, I would like to say a massive thank you to the lovely people supporting me and my work on Patreon. Thank you so much to each one of you. If you're interested in Lightroom presets, tutorials for color grading and stuff like that, you can check out my page via the link in the description. Also, I have a print shop in case that is of interest to you, also in the description. With that said, I hope to see you again soon, and until then, goodbye.